I'm Hope Medina with Shums Coda Associates and the Vice Chair of the Sustainability Membership Council.
I'm Kylie Flynn. I'm with the City of Arvada. I'm a member of the Emerging Leaders Membership Council.
So welcome to today's video. What innovative item is shaping the future of our industry? So many people are working on the question about how to bring new people into our industry, and there are so many avenues that are really being utilized, anywhere from the ICC technical training program to mentoring to speaking and reaching out to high school students that are getting ready to prepare and enter into the workforce. And I hope today we can provide you with an option that is so simple and yet has an incredible impact on our young children. And this option is the ICC CODI and CODET Building Safety Activity Books. Here today we have a couple of remarkable people with us. I'd like to introduce you to my grandson Xavier and Kylie's son Lincoln. So Kylie, how has this book made an impact with your family?
So I think it's been a good resource to help expose him and the other kids. I have two stepkids to different hazards around the house that can exist. He's a little bit more conscious now about leaving things around. And we've gone over, what to do in case of fire. And I think it's also been awesome to show him a little bit of what I do and what we look for with building codes in general. So that's been really cool.
So Lincoln, how has this book influenced you? Would you like to talk about it?
It makes me pay attention more when I play video games like Minecraft. I make sure that I have at least doors around wherever I go. I don't have much windows, but I have several doors around.
Oh, that's good, because you want to make sure that you can get out, right?
Yep. And most of my house is made of a really strong block that can't burn.
Oh, good. So they're fire resistant. Good thinking.
But I think I put wood down.
Oh, well, that's okay. You need a little wood sometimes, a little natural stuff going on out there. For Xavier, this came about, he was probably about 4 years old and down at the local building department where you happen to work at now. Jane at the front counter gave him the book and he started looking for smoke detectors. That was the thing that made the biggest impact on him, was the smoke detector section. So he loves museums. And so I decided to take him to museums, all throughout the country, because you kind of get tired of seeing the same thing over and over again. And so obviously you stay at a hotel. And he started looking for smoke detectors in the hotel room that we were staying at. And then it progressed to fire sprinklers, because he asked about what that thing was, hanging from the ceiling, and explained it to him. Then we were in Rapid City and he goes, "Grandma, we have to change hotels." And I'm like, "Why do we have to change hotels?" He goes, "There's no fire sprinkler here." And they didn't have one, mounted on the ceiling. It was mounted on the wall. And so I had to explain that it could either be on the wall or it could be, on the ceiling. And it's kind of progressed since then, because he's actually taken the code book out and read some of the stuff, and including means of egress. And so we were in DC a few years ago, and there was a delivery that had happened and blocking the exit. So we're downstairs having breakfast and he's upset because they blocked the exit with their delivery. So if there was a fire, we weren't going to be able to get out. So it's kind of had this progression with him, which has led to, where he's thinking about, he wants to have his life go as he gets older. So
Definitely.
Yeah, it's interesting. Xavier, how has this lovely book shaped your life?
It's made me going into architecture, and I'm always cautious when we go to other places in the state and out of state. I don't think we've gone out of state. But to look for safety exits, fire sprinklers, and fire detectors. fire detectors.
Yeah, I think one of the things that kind of surprised me is, again, we were in DC and we were at a restaurant, and he's looking up at the ceiling, and I'm like, okay, not thinking about always looking for sprinklers or smoke detector. When we're out somewhere and he starts looking up, I just figure that's what he's looking at. And he goes, Grandma, don't they have too many lights? And I'm like, lights? And he goes, yeah, they're only allowed a certain amount of lights, and they have a lot of lights. And I thought, oh my gosh, where in the world did I never gave him the energy code to look at, but he sits with me because he wants to do architecture. He sits with me when I do plan review, and I review a lot of energy stuff. So I thought, oh my gosh.
We had a similar situation when we went to Vegas, and I was explaining to the kids that you should always be able to see an exit sign, and so we took the stairwell and tried to follow the exit signs and ended up getting lost in Caesar's Palace. The exit signs did not take us to the exit, but it's always fun when we're looking around and I'm explaining things.
That's an awesome experience to have. I mean, not that you couldn't get out, but to go through that. So is there any parting words that you would like to say?
Just that it's always good to teach your kids, about building safety. And I think it's brought us closer together, getting to show him what I do for a living, what I look for, and being able to answer those questions when he asks me. And it's always impressive when he, recollects those things later on, like hot's on the left and cold's on the right. Just little tidbits that he's picking up on is always really cool. I think we make a bigger influence on the little kids than we realize.
I think you absolutely, hit the nail on the head, so to speak, because, so often, we're talking about, reaching out and hitting those high school students, and explaining to them about what we do. But the reality is, we've got two examples right here of where a little kid's activity book has had such a huge impact, and it's really shaping the way that they're thinking. And for so long, in this industry, you got into being a carpenter because you were pushing the broom around, at your father's work. And so I think that this is kind of the new way of pushing the broom around, is taking that colored pencil or crayon and doing the activity book.
There's not many resources out there for what we do, so I think it's nice that they have those books. It's nice that we can show the kids that it's a real job, it's a really cool job, it's a fun thing to do, and building safety can be really fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I'd like to thank Kylie, Lincoln, and Xavier for joining us today. If you're interested in getting more information on the Cody and Codette activity books, you can go to ICC's website at www.iccsafe.org. Click on the advocacy and a drop-down menu will appear, and you're going to click on Building Safety Month. On the Building Safety Month page, you're going to scroll down to about the middle of the page, and on the right-hand side, you're going to see a little pop-up that says Kids Corner. I really do hope for these books to reach more and more younger children. And who knows who we're going to reach and how we can shape our own industry, one crayon at a time. Join us tomorrow for another edition in the Sustainability Membership Council's Building Safety Month video series, Saving the World, One Building at a Time.